Hi guys, so we are on chapter 3 in Maeve's point of view. Got a lot to read, so let me get started. I spent the next 2 days testing out how we could make an episode together without actually being within 100 yards of each other. Typically, we have a 3-camera setup. I set a close-up on Finn, a close-up on me, and a wide shot that shows the two of us together. In the edit, I cut between the 3 cameras, depending on who's talking. Our body language, gesticulating, reactions, all that. And the audio is pristine thanks to the lav mics that are clipped to our shirt collars. I think we could make an episode with just close-ups and hide that we're not in the same room. But the problem is, our episodes aren't scripted. We prepare what we're talking about and always have a list of questions of the week to end the episode, but we're typically improvising. Because together we're hilarious and smart and maybe sexy. All of my good qualities increase tenfold when I'm in the room with Finn. I write a script for his first episode, which is something I've never done before. I spent hours laboring over jokes, thinking about how Finn would talk, how he would answer the questions. I pulled from our online forum and DMs, how he would tease me, and then I try to play both parts and piece it together, and it sucks. I hit pause on the practice video and get up from my editing bay to start pacing. It's an awesome setup that used to be a laptop in my closet in New York, but now has a full room in my ridiculously large house. I have two 40-inch color correct monitors, a completely tricked out laptop, and an ergonomic chair that set Streamify back $5,000. It all showed up wrapped in a giant Red Bull the day after I moved in. Finn got a $5,000 bottle of whiskey. I need to make this work. I text my group chat with my sisters. SOS, I'm trying to make an episode with both Finn and me in it, but without actually doing it together. And it sucks. Help, please. I'm out of ideas. Sarah starts typing, then stops. And I groan and hit play on the episode again. It's so stiff and awkward. It would be marginally better with Finn in it, but I don't think we'd be able to pass it off as a normal episode. And I could just imagine what the articles would say if people discovered we were pretending to record together. Our fans are incredibly loyal, but also figure out everything. They are basically FBI agents. They've tracked down my high school prom photos, who Finn's first kiss was, Cassidy obviously, all of my family members, and where my hometown is, even though we use code names for everyone and everything important. Give them a month and they'll probably be mailing vibrators to our new home addresses. They know we're faking it. My phone starts vibrating with a flurry of texts from Claude and Tiffany. They're probably together sending these dueling texts from opposite ends of the couch. I don't miss home, but I do miss them and the chaotic energy of having 3 sisters which surrounded my entire childhood. Claude says, I say record with him again. Pretend he's a teammate you don't like. Tiffany says, F for effort. Not helpful, I replied. Sarah says, can't you each just do you on half? It's too awkward, I type quickly. Tiffany says, bridal shower game. You each have to separately answer questions about the other and see if you get it right. Now this I like. We can lean into not recording together, acknowledge it, and make it part of the fun. This could work. Finn and I actually played that game on the Today Show once, and shockingly, he got every single one about me right. I missed 2, but to my credit, they weren't softballs. How would I know the name of his little league team? Unlike the rest of the women and gay men in America, I'm not obsessed with him. I think this idea could actually work. I pick up my phone instinctively to call Finn and tell him my idea, only to stop myself. For the past 2 years, he was the first person I told everything to. He was always so excited for me. It was the first time that I felt like someone really appreciated and believed in me. I really thought he felt the same way I did about our connection. Everything we did was better with each other. With him, eating takeout on the floor of the bedroom wasn't depressing. It was incredible because we were laughing and coming up with ideas and building on each other's thoughts and creating an awesome episode about it that went out to millions of people. And then reading messages from people who dumped a toxic ex because of us. Or orgasm for the first time. Lord have mercy. This book is okay. Or came out to their See, I don't know if I'm making it through this book. If I read one more thing in here about the LGBTQRS, I'm not reading this book no more, and I'm going to review it from what I've read so far. So they better straighten up and fly right, because I don't do that. And falling asleep with my head on his shoulder while he was listening back to the episode and thinking it all meant something, when to him it was just a fun thing to do. When he was always looking for someone like Cassidy, who's shiny and perfect and famous and doesn't talk about blowjobs on the podcast. So instead of calling him, I text Tiffany a thank you gift. Then get in my car and drive to the studio. Maeve, we weren't expecting you today. Is Finn coming in? The receptionist looked surprised to see me. Previously, Finn and I recorded in stellar locations like Finn's living room floor, my bed, his bed, my fire escape, and occasionally a friend's apartment. We had offers from production studios in New York, but once we started getting big, I didn't want to sign over our IP. I didn't know we'd get a deal like this, but I knew I hated the idea of a middle-aged man owning any part of this show that I worked so hard on. Even now, we're licensing the IP for 3 years, exclusively, and at the end of the term, we could walk away with it. But in the meantime, I'm definitely going to enjoy using Streamify's super professional studios whenever we want. He's not. Just testing something out. And he's busy with family. Would you mind helping me set up? The receptionist presses 1 on the phone. She had already half raised to her ear as she talked. I'll get a PA sent over to you right away. Want some snacks? Coconut water? Cappuccino? Wine? It feels strange to have someone fussing over me like this. I've always been on the sidelines while my sisters prepare for big events like pageants and soccer tournaments, and despite our success with the podcast the past few years since we recorded alone, it never felt like as big a deal as it was. An iced coffee would be great. Thank you so much. I shoved my beat up Camelback deeper into my bag. Before I have time to sit down, a young man is opening a hidden door in the wall and motioning me toward him. For a second, I wondered if it was unprofessional to do our first recording session without Finn. He's more used to being catered to than I am. But he loved the offices when we toured during contract negotiations and would get a kick out of this VIP treatment. But he made his bed, and now he has to lie in it. I'm Leo. It's great to meet you, the PA says as he leads me down an elegant hallway. I've actually been working on the Tell Me How You Really Feel set for the past month. Psyched to see what you think of it. I'm here 5 days a week, so I'm your lead PA. Anything you need, I'm here. I don't know how you two roll, but if you prefer to record in the middle of the night or something, just say so. I'm there. Oh, wow, I stammered. Thank you. We usually record, I think back to the past year and a half. Well, actually, we have no set schedule, but I think we'll be getting much more organized now that we're at Streamify. We'll have to if we're going to keep recording separately. Sweet. Can't wait to see how the magic happens. I would be wincing if I said something that cheesy, but Leo appears to be dead serious. He presses on what looks like a bookshelf that houses solely sex-related books and the door slowly opens to reveal what is clearly the Tell Me How You Really Feel studios. "You like it?" he exclaims, and I realized my jaw had dropped, except it wasn't in a good way. The table is designed to look like a massive vagina, and the walls are painted with lines, drawings of naked people of all shapes and sizes kissing. There are regular mics and penis mics sitting at the table, and the flower arrangements are in vases shaped like butts and busts. The room does have a strangely expensive vibe, but it also is so in your face, sexual, that my blood curdles. Now that we have the big deal, I want to gradually make the show more serious, not more viral through sex and shock value. It's definitely a lot, I manage after a moment of Leo clearly waiting for my response. I drop my bag on the table and start examining things. The camera equipment is nicer than what Finn and I have been using, and the room is entirely soundproof. But it's a lot. I turn to Leo and smile winningly. We actually use lave mics. At least that gets rid of the most egregious thing in the room. Those awful penis mics that would inspire 1,000 gifts. Again, my hand twitches instinctively, wanting to send Finn a picture of them. But when Finn comes in, definitely put it back out. "For sure," Leo agrees smoothly. He opens a hidden compartment and pulls out lav mics. What is with all the hidden compartments? It's like Streamify decided showing they had drawers, doors, and closets in this massive building was, gosh. I know the room really pops, but I thought it would help, with the goal. "What goal?" I ask immediately. Does he know I want my own show? To never be in the room with Finn again? Leo starts testing the lav mics as he talks, beating the Paul Myers show. Since both shows are going Streamify exclusive and relaunching the same week, it's kind of intense competition. I would love to see Paul Myers get knocked down a peg. I hate the guy. The stuff he says about immigrants is whack. Once I heard he was coming on too, I practically begged to be reassigned to you guys. My blood runs cold. No one has said anything about the Paul Myers show going exclusive with Streamify. I don't know if I would have even signed the contract if I realized that this was happening. Why wasn't there a press release about his show going exclusive? Leo shrugs. I assume he's worried about the ratings and wants to save the publicity for the first week out, so you'll be easier to compete with. Right. I trail off. Would you mind giving me a minute? I feel blindsided and need a moment to regroup. A jolt of anxiety has shot through me, and I need to get my bearings so I don't spiral. Leo makes a swift exit and I drop into the chair with a dull thud. The Paul Myers Show is the most popular and the most problematic podcast out there. It's bigoted, extremist, inflammatory, and downright dangerous, if I'm being honest. Paul Myers is obsessed with making the world a more hateful place. He's taken aim at us more times than I can count, calling me everything from a whore to an uneducated hick, and spewed out all sorts of homophobic and, okay, you know what? I'm over this book. It seemed like they literally just throwing this stuff in here left and right. I tried to read this book. Maybe it could be interesting to somebody else, but as far as me, no. I'm gonna I couldn't even make it to the 4th chapter. They're talking about they're doing too much with the LGBT and all that, and I don't do that. I'm glad it was a giveaway and it's not something that I bought because I would have wanted my money back. But lucky for you guys, I have the book that I really want to read that's called Betting on You. So we're not making it through chapter 3 of this. I appreciate y'all hanging in here with me. But next one I'm going to be recording is going to be betting on you, and it's definitely not going to be talking about this crap. So good night, guys.